Are you ready to face a truth that could change everything for you? I'm not talking about some soft, feel-good notion. I'm talking about a truth that will challenge everything you believe. It will shake you to your core, but it's the truth you've been waiting for. It's the kind of truth that forces you to confront who you really are and what you're truly capable of. And trust me, once you hear it, there's no going back. So, are you ready to hear it? Are you ready to let it change you? Most people won't go there. Most people prefer comfort, the safety of what they already know. It's easier to hide behind the lies, behind the distractions, behind the excuses. The truth, though, is something completely different. It's raw, it's uncomfortable, but it's the only path to growth. Facing the truth means rejecting the easy road, the road that promises nothing but stagnation. You might not want to hear it, but here's the reality. Your future, your success, everything you've dreamed of, it all starts with facing this truth. And the question is, can you face it head on? The truth will test you. It will ask if you've got the courage to accept it, even when it's tough. And that's where most people back off. They shy away from discomfort. They prefer the illusion of safety. But let me tell you something, you're different. You can handle it. You have the power within you to accept the truth, no matter how hard it is. Will you choose to confront it? Will you choose to face it right now? You have so much untapped potential within you, more than you can even imagine. But that potential, it will never surface until you stop hiding from the truth. You are capable of far more than you realize. Most people live in a constant state of self-doubt, unaware of the vast ocean of power within them. And that's the greatest tragedy. Once you realize your power, once you accept the truth of who you are, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. You'll look at challenges differently. Obstacles won't seem so daunting, and your dreams will feel more like an inevitable reality than a distant hope. Comfort zones are prisons disguised as safety. I want you to think about that for a second. That place you feel comfortable, that place you think is keeping you safe, is actually the very thing that's holding you back. Every day you stay within your comfort zone, you're slowly dying. Your dreams are dying. Your potential is dying. And why? Because you've chosen comfort over growth, safety over challenge. The truth is, you won't get anywhere by staying in a place that feels familiar. It's only when you step into the unknown, when you break free from that comfort, that you begin to grow. And that's the hardest part, letting go of what feels easy and stepping into what's hard but necessary. Settling for less, for mediocrity, that's the silent killer. You think you're okay because you're comfortable, but you're not. You're betraying yourself every time you settle for something that's not pushing you to be your best. There's always a price for mediocrity, and that price is your true potential. Imagine looking back on your life years from now and realizing you played small, you held back, and you never went after what you were truly capable of. What would that cost you? Regret. And regret is the price of settling for less. Don't let that be your story. Excuses are the chains that hold you back from everything you want. I don't want to hear your excuses. They won't get you anywhere. Every excuse is a roadblock you've put in your own path. They are lies you've told yourself to avoid the hard work, the struggle, and the discomfort that growth demands. You've got to stop using excuses as a crutch. Hard work is the only thing that will get you where you want to go. You're not going to get to the top by making excuses, but by grinding, by showing up even when it's tough, by refusing to let anything stop you. Settling, staying stagnant, thinking you can just coast through life without pushing yourself, that's a surefire way to fail. You can't stay stuck in the same place and expect different results. It doesn't work that way. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. That's the truth. So ask yourself, what's it going to cost you to stay the same? Is it worth it? The price of stagnation is far greater than the discomfort of change. The longer you stay where you are, the further away you get from your potential. The time to move is now. Fear is the enemy you let control you. You know how it feels, that gut-wrenching sensation, the hesitation before taking a big step. But here's the reality, fear is an illusion. It's the voice that tells you you can't do it, that you're not good enough, that you should stay in your safe little box. But fear lies. Fear doesn't know who you are, what you're capable of, or where you're going. Fear tries to convince you that you should give up before you even start. But guess what? Fear is nothing but smoke and mirrors. Once you face it, once you push through it, it loses all its power over you. Self-doubt is the thief that steals your potential. Every time you doubt yourself, you're allowing that thief to take away your chances for success. The moment you start questioning your abilities is the moment you let self-doubt take control. And it doesn't just stop there. Self-doubt affects every decision you make. It holds you back from taking risks, from stepping out of your comfort zone, from doing what you're meant to do. But you've got to stop letting it define you. You are capable of far more than you think. Stop doubting yourself. It's time to act. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to act in spite of fear. You'll never be completely fearless, and that's okay. The key is not waiting for fear to disappear. It's about moving forward regardless. Courage is a choice, and every time you choose courage, you're taking one step closer to the person you were always meant to be. Don't wait for fear to leave. Act in the face of it, because the real test is not whether you're afraid, but whether you choose to keep going despite that fear. Fear is like a shadow. The more you run from it, the bigger it gets. But when you stop running, when you stand still and face it, it fades away. That's what happens when you confront fear head on. It loses its power over you. It can no longer control your life. So stop running from it, face it, and watch it disappear. You've got the strength to overcome fear. And once you do, you'll wonder why you were ever afraid in the first place. Self-doubt is temporary. It's a fleeting emotion, a phase you'll pass through on your way to greatness. But the only way to overcome it is through consistent action. The more you show up, the more you prove to yourself that you can do it, the less room self-doubt will have. Keep pushing forward, even when the doubt creeps in, because you're stronger than it. And one day you'll look back and realize that you outgrew it. You are the architect of your own life. No one else is responsible for the way things turn out for you. The choices you make, the steps you take, they shape your future. No one else is living your life, so why let someone else control your decisions? Own your choices. Own your life. If you want change, if you want success, it starts with taking full responsibility for where you are right now. You can't blame anyone else for your struggles, your setbacks, or your failures. The only person who can change your life is you. Stop blaming others. It's so easy to point fingers, to blame the economy, your upbringing, your circumstances. But the truth is, none of that matters. Who else is responsible for your success? The answer is simple. You, only you. The moment you stop blaming others for your situation is the moment you take control of your future. If you're not happy with where you are, then change it. You have the power to change your life. But it starts with taking full accountability for it. Taking responsibility is the first step in changing your future. If you want something different, you've got to do something different. If you keep doing the same things and expecting different results, you're fooling yourself. Want to change your life? Then change the way you think, the way you act, the way you make decisions. It starts with you. If you want change, you have to change. And it all begins with taking responsibility. Victimhood will keep you stuck. The moment you start seeing yourself as a victim is the moment you give away your power. Victim mentality keeps you trapped in a cycle of helplessness and blame. But the truth is, you hold the key to your own freedom. The key is in your hands, and it's time to unlock it. Stop waiting for things to change. Take control. You are not a victim, you are a warrior. And warriors don't wait for change to happen. They make it happen. Taking control of your life will propel you forward. Once you stop blaming others, once you own your decisions, you'll see how quickly things can shift. When you take full responsibility, you become empowered. You stop being a passenger in your own life and you become the driver. The future you want is in your hands, so take the wheel and drive it. Your success, your happiness, your future, it's all yours to create. Everything comes at a cost. You've heard the saying, nothing worth having comes easy. And it's true. If you want to achieve anything meaningful, there's a price to pay. Success, happiness, fulfillment, they all require sacrifice. You have to give something up in order to gain something greater. To rise, you must leave something behind. Whether it's comfort, time, relationships, or personal indulgences, there's a cost. The question is, what are you willing to pay for the life you want? Sacrificing comfort is necessary for growth. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. You've got to be willing to step out of it. It's like planting a seed. You bury it in the dark earth, away from the light, before it can sprout and grow. The same goes for your dreams. The discomfort, the hard work, the struggle, all of it is part of your growth. You've got to sacrifice the comfort of now to build the life you want in the future. The hidden cost of staying the same is a life full of missed opportunities. When you stay in your comfort zone, when you avoid making changes, you're giving up your potential. The price of staying the same is the life you could have had. The growth, the success, the happiness, you're sacrificing all of that when you refuse to step out of your comfort zone. So ask yourself, is the life you're living worth the price of what you could have? Sacrifice isn't loss, it's investment. Every time you give up something in the present for a greater future, you're investing in your success. Sacrifice isn't about losing, it's about gaining something far more valuable. What are you willing to sacrifice to create the future you deserve? What will you leave behind in order to make room for the life you've always dreamed of? The choice is yours. How much longer will you let comfort control your destiny? Let me ask you something. How many times have you chosen comfort over growth? How many times have you stayed where you were because it was easy, familiar, and safe? Let me tell you, comfort is the silent killer of your dreams. It feels like protection, but it's really a prison. Your comfort zone is a prison cell disguised as safety. It might feel secure, but it's holding your potential captive. It convinces you to settle for less, to stay stuck in the same place, and to never strive for something greater. Most people live their entire lives in their comfort zones, thinking they are safe, but in reality, they are suffocating their own greatness. If you want to achieve anything significant, you must break free from this prison. You cannot grow by staying in the place that feels most familiar. Greatness lies on the other side of discomfort. If you stay where it's comfortable, you'll never become the person you were meant to be. The truth is, you can't achieve anything great by playing it safe. You need to get uncomfortable to break through. If you want growth, why are you still staying in places that keep you small? Growth does not happen in comfort. Growth only happens when you step into the unknown, when you push yourself beyond the limits you've set for yourself. We all love comfort. It feels good, doesn't it? But it's only in the discomfort of pushing yourself beyond what feels easy that you experience true change. It's like the butterfly. The butterfly doesn't stay in the cocoon forever. It breaks free from the darkness, spreads its wings, and soars into a new life. You have to break free from your cocoon. You have to be willing to face the discomfort of growth if you want to see the transformation you desire. Ask yourself, what is it costing you to stay comfortable? What opportunities are you missing out on by refusing to take that leap? Are you ready to make decisions that scare you? The truth is, discomfort is the catalyst for transformation. It's in the moments when you face your fears head-on that you discover your true power. Most people shy away from uncomfortable decisions. They let fear dictate their lives, choosing the easy path because it feels better in the moment. But what if I told you that every time you avoid discomfort, you're choosing stagnation? Every time you stay in your comfort zone, you're choosing mediocrity. Here's the cold, hard truth. Success doesn't live in comfort zones. Success only comes when you're willing to make decisions that scare you. You have to make those choices even when they feel uncomfortable, even when they push you to your limits. That's where the real magic happens. You can't wish for success. You have to work for it, period. Let me be real with you. Success isn't something that just happens overnight. It doesn't fall into your lap. Success requires effort, dedication, and most importantly, hard work. You can't wish for success. You have to work for it. Look around at the successful people you admire. Do you think they got there by sitting in their comfort zones, waiting for things to happen? Absolutely not. They worked for it, they sacrificed, they did things others were too afraid to do. Most people want success, but they don't want to put in the work it takes to achieve it. They want the reward, but they aren't willing to do what's necessary to get it. Excuses won't get you there, hard work will. There is no shortcut to greatness. If you want success, you have to go after it with everything you have. How long will you let excuses hold you back from reaching your potential? Let's talk about excuses. We all make them. We tell ourselves things like, I don't have enough time, or I'm not ready yet, or it's just not the right moment. But let me tell you something, excuses are chains that hold you back from your destiny. They are the lies you tell yourself to justify why you're not moving forward. Excuses convince you that you're limited, that you can't do something because of some external factor. But here's the truth. The only thing holding you back is you. Excuses are nothing but a crutch. They make you feel safe, but they keep you stuck. Until you stop making excuses, you'll never reach the heights you're capable of. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about what you're willing to do to make things happen. Why are you settling for less than what you're truly capable of? Ask yourself this question: why are you settling for mediocrity? Why are you tolerating less than what you are truly capable of achieving? Settling is not only a waste of potential, it's a betrayal to yourself. Every time you settle for less, you're denying yourself the greatness that lies within you. You are shortchanging yourself. Settling is like getting a free ticket to a destination you don't even want to reach. You think you're safe, but you're still missing out on what life has to offer. Life is too short to settle for a version of yourself that's less than extraordinary. It's time to stop tolerating mediocrity. It's time to demand more from yourself. You are capable of so much more, but you have to make the decision to stop settling. Settling doesn't bring peace, it brings regret, and that regret will haunt you when it's too late to change. Let me be clear, settling doesn't bring peace, it brings regret, and that regret will haunt you for the rest of your life. You might tell yourself that staying in your comfort zone is easier, that it's safer, but in the long run, it's a lie. The comfort you're seeking now will turn into regret later on. The regret of settling will last far longer than the discomfort of pushing yourself beyond your limits. You will look back one day and realize that you could have had so much more, but you were too afraid to take that first step. You could have become the person you were meant to be, but you let fear and comfort dictate your choices. Don't let that be your story. You were born for more than mediocrity. It's time to rise, to break free from the prison of comfort and to pursue your greatness. Fear isn't real, it's a lie. And it's the one thing that's holding you back from everything you want in life. How many times has fear made decisions for you, keeping you from stepping into your power? Think about it. How often has fear convinced you to back down, to settle for less, to choose comfort over growth? Fear is the greatest obstacle standing between you and your dreams. It paralyzes you, makes you hesitate, and causes you to doubt yourself. But let me tell you something, fear is nothing more than a shadow. It's dark and intimidating when you stand still, but as soon as you move toward it, it disappears. Fear has no power over you unless you give it power. You have the ability to face it, to walk right through it, and to take control of your destiny. The question is, are you going to let it dictate your life, or are you going to push past it and claim what's yours? Fear is a master manipulator. It whispers in your ear that you're not enough, not ready, not worthy. Fear shows up in many forms. It tells you that you're not capable of succeeding, that you're not ready to take the next step, or that someone else is better equipped than you are. It doesn't give you the whole truth. It only feeds you the lies that make you feel small, unworthy, and incapable. Fear is like a cage around your potential, and it only stays locked if you allow it to. Fear loves to stay hidden in the corners of your mind, telling you that you can't do something before you even try. It convinces you that your dreams are out of reach, that you aren't worthy of success. But imagine for a second, just for a second, what could you achieve if fear no longer had control over you? How many doors would open? How many opportunities would you seize? The truth is, fear has no real power unless you let it control your actions. You have the strength to push it aside and take the steps that move you closer to your goals. Fear doesn't tell you the truth. It tells you what you can't do, what you're not good enough for, and what you don't deserve. Let me tell you something, fear is a liar. It doesn't speak the truth. It fills your mind with doubt, with negative self-talk, and with thoughts of inadequacy. It tells you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you're not worthy of success. But what does fear really know about you? It doesn't know your potential, your resilience, your willpower. Think about this, you don't doubt your ability to breathe. You don't wake up every morning wondering if you'll be able to breathe today. So why then do you doubt your ability to succeed? Why do you doubt your capacity to achieve greatness? It's time to ask yourself, how much longer will you let fear stand between you and your dreams? Fear only has as much power as you give it. Don't let it rob you of what you're truly capable of. Self-doubt is a thief, silently stealing your power and your future before you even realize it. Self-doubt creeps in quietly. It doesn't announce itself with loud warnings or flashing signs. Instead, it works silently, gradually eroding your confidence and stealing your sense of self-worth. Self-doubt is like a weed in the garden of your potential. It starts small but grows uncontrollably unless you uproot it. It makes you question yourself, second-guess every decision, and holds you back from taking action. You have to push self-doubt out the door. You are stronger than it, and it has no place in your life. Every time you let doubt creep in, you're allowing it to steal your power. You are capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. The sooner you recognize that your doubts don't define you, the sooner you can step into your full potential. Why do you trust your doubts more than you trust your abilities? It's time to change that. How many times has fear or self-doubt kept you from taking the first step, leaving you stuck in the same place? Fear and self-doubt work together in a vicious cycle. Fear whispers to you that you're not ready, and self-doubt convinces you that you don't have what it takes. So you listen and nothing happens. You stay stuck, waiting for the right moment, which never comes. The longer you let fear and self-doubt control you, the longer you remain where you are, stagnant and unfulfilled. But what if you decided to break that cycle today? What if you chose to take action, even when you didn't feel ready? What if you decided that enough was enough, and you would stop letting fear and self-doubt hold you back? Are you ready to break that cycle, or will you let it keep you trapped? The choice is yours. The only way to beat fear and self-doubt is to act in spite of them, to do it scared, to move forward even when your mind tells you to stop. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward even when fear is present. It's doing it anyway. The only way to beat fear and self-doubt is to act in spite of them. To take that first step, even when your heart is racing, even when your mind is filled with doubt. Do it scared, do it anyway. The world rewards the bold, not the hesitant. Every time you move forward, you make fear a little smaller, a little weaker. Courage is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. With every action you take, you dismantle fear piece by piece. It's time to stop letting fear dictate your actions. The more you push through it, the less power it has over you. The world rewards the bold, the ones who take action, who face fear and self-doubt, and do it anyway. Look around you. The people you admire, the ones who have achieved greatness, weren't immune to fear. They didn't wait until they felt ready, or until the fear was gone. They faced fear, they felt it, and they did it anyway. And that's why they're where they are today. You can be cautious and stuck, or you can be bold and unstoppable. The choice is yours. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect moment. It comes to those who act in the face of uncertainty, to those who take that first step, no matter how scared they are. What's stopping you from taking that bold step today? What are you waiting for? Fear does not control your destiny unless you let it. You get to choose who you become. You have the power. You are in control. Fear does not dictate your life unless you allow it to. It doesn't control your destiny. You get to choose who you become. Fear may show up, but you don't have to let it lead the way. You can push fear to the side and take control of your journey. Fear should not be the driver. You should be behind the wheel. Don't let fear steer you away from your dreams, from your goals, and from the greatness you are capable of. The world needs you to show up. Your dreams need you to take action. It's time to stop letting fear and self-doubt define your limits. You are stronger than that. You are capable of so much more. It's time to take control and show the world what you're made of. If you're waiting for someone else to change your life, you're wasting your time. How long are you going to wait for someone or something else to fix your life? The truth is, no one else can do it for you. If you want change, it starts with you. Personal accountability is the foundation of all progress, the starting point for any meaningful change. You see, the moment you take ownership of your life, everything shifts. Your mindset, your actions, your decisions, they all become yours to control. You no longer sit back waiting for life to happen to you. Instead, you step into your power. Your choices shape your destiny. Your actions determine your outcome. Look, no one is coming to save you. That might sound harsh, but it's the truth. You are the only one who can take control of your future. This is your life, and you have the power to mold it into whatever you desire. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let others dictate your path? How much longer will you sit in the passenger seat of your own life? Take full ownership. It's the only way to unlock your true potential. Once you take responsibility, that's when the real transformation begins. Blaming others, circumstances, or the world is a way of surrendering your power. You're not a victim, you're a creator. How many times have you blamed someone else for where you are right now? How many times have you pointed the finger instead of looking in the mirror? Blame is easy. It lets us off the hook. It makes us feel like the world owes us something, but it's an illusion. The reality is that blaming others only leaves you stuck, powerless, and stuck in a cycle of inaction. Blame is a chain that keeps you tethered to your past failures, but the moment you take responsibility, you cut those chains and move forward. It's that simple. Until you own your choices, until you claim your life, you'll never move beyond your circumstances. The moment you stop blaming and start taking responsibility is the moment your future starts to change. Don't get stuck in the easy trap of blame. Stop waiting for someone else to change. Start changing yourself. Your power doesn't lie in who or what you blame, it lies in what you choose to do with what you've got. Stop blaming, start taking responsibility. It's the only way to break free from your past and step into your future. When you play the victim, you lose your power. And when you lose your power, you lose your future. You can either be a victim of life or the master of it. The choice is yours. It's easy to fall into the victim mentality. It's the path of least resistance, the path that lets you off the hook. But let me tell you, when you choose to be a victim, you give up your strength. You give up your control. A victim mentality keeps you trapped in negativity, always blaming external factors for your current situation. But the reality is that you can never create anything meaningful as a victim. When you play the victim, you forfeit your ability to create change in your life. The victim mindset steals your confidence, your self-worth, and your belief in yourself. What's more empowering, to blame life or to take charge of it? You have the choice to stop being a victim. You have the choice to stop making excuses. Yes, the world isn't always fair, but you are still in control of your actions, your mindset, and your decisions. Being a victim is easy, taking responsibility is hard, but the hard path is the only one that leads to true success. Don't let the victim mentality steal your future. Take charge and create the life you want. Responsibility doesn't feel like freedom to most people, but that's because they don't understand the truth. Responsibility is power. When you take responsibility, you take the wheel. You're no longer at the mercy of the road. You're the one choosing the direction. The freedom comes in the moment you stop waiting for permission. The freedom comes when you realize that you are the one who holds the key to your future. Would you rather let life happen to you or make life happen for you? Most people want to sit back and wait for life to hand them something. But the truth is, freedom doesn't come from waiting. It comes from action. It comes from stepping into your role as the architect of your destiny. Taking responsibility is what allows you to take control of your life. It's what gives you the power to make decisions, to change your course, to improve your situation. It's time to stop being a passenger in your own life. You are the driver, and it's time to take control of the wheel. The life you're living right now is the result of choices you've made. Want a different life? Start making different choices. Every decision you make, no matter how small, is shaping your future. Every choice is either a step toward your goals or a step back into your past. You have the power to shape your reality through your decisions, but the question is, are you making the right choices? Think of your choices as bricks. You're building the path to your future, one decision at a time. Each choice either builds a stronger foundation or weakens your progress. What kind of bricks are you laying today? Are they bringing you closer to your goals or further away? The power is in your hands. Your future isn't determined by fate or luck. It's determined by the decisions you make today. Don't let the small decisions go unnoticed. Start taking responsibility for every choice. Don't let the easy path pull you away from what you truly want. The life you want begins with the decisions you make right now. Success doesn't just happen. You create it with your actions, your decisions, your drive. It's not about waiting for success to find you. It's about creating success through your decisions and actions every single day. Every successful person you admire didn't wait for opportunity to knock. They created it. They took ownership of their life and made their dreams a reality through consistent effort and dedication. Success is like a garden. You have to plant the seeds, nurture them, and wait for them to grow. It doesn't just magically appear. The fruits of your labor are earned, not handed to you on a silver platter. You can't just wish for success. You have to work for it. You have to take action, make decisions, and push through the tough times. Don't wait for life to hand you success. Go out and earn it. Make it happen. When you take responsibility, you don't just change your life, you change the lives of everyone around you. Responsibility doesn't just stop with you. It ripples out and affects everyone in your life. When you take ownership of your journey, others see your example. They see your strength. They see your commitment, and that can inspire them to do the same. Responsibility is like a pebble thrown into a pond. The ripples will spread further than you ever imagined. When you change your life, you have the power to impact your family, your friends, your community. What kind of impact could you make if you started taking full responsibility for your actions today? Imagine the positive change you could create in your life and the lives of others. It starts with you. You have the power to inspire and lead by example. It's time to stop waiting for the world to change for you. You are the one who has the power to change everything in your life. The choice is yours. The power is yours. Take control of your life today, right now. Stop waiting for something outside of you to change. The power to create the life you want is already inside of you. It starts with one simple decision: to take full responsibility for your choices. You are the only person who can create the life you want. If you're ready to change, it starts with taking responsibility for your choices. Stop blaming, stop waiting, and start acting. Your future begins now. So here's the challenge. Take one powerful step today, right now, that will shift your mindset and your trajectory for the future. Take full ownership of your decisions. Don't wait. The power is yours. Use it. Everything worthwhile demands sacrifice. There is no success without giving something up. You can't have it all. You have to choose. If you want to reach your fullest potential, you have to be willing to make the tough choices today, even if they're uncomfortable. Are you willing to pay the price for the life you say you want? Think about it. So many people dream of success, but only a few ever achieve it. Why? Because they're not ready to make the sacrifices that success demands. It's not easy, it's not glamorous, but it's necessary. Consider this. It's like planting a seed. You have to bury it in the ground first before you see it grow. You can't rush the process. You have to be patient and committed to nurturing that seed until it turns into something extraordinary. And that seed requires sacrifices. Time, effort, distractions, and sometimes even relationships. If you're not willing to make those sacrifices, you're never going to see your dreams take root. If you want to build something great, you have to be willing to sacrifice what you love for what you love even more. It's hard, it's painful, but this is the truth about success. Success isn't about getting everything you want without any effort. It's about making decisions that will serve your long-term goals, even if they cost you in the short term. What are you willing to part with to create the future you desire? Think about that. What parts of your life, what habits, what comforts, or even people are you willing to give up in order to achieve greatness? The greatest transformations happen when we make those difficult choices. The emotional cost of sacrifice is real, but it's temporary. Success is like building a house. Sometimes you have to tear down parts of the old structure to build the new one. You can't carry everything from your past with you into your future. Some things have to be left behind, and those things you give up, they're investments, not losses, because they make space for something better to enter your life. Staying where you are might feel safe, but it's costing you your future. What are you willing to give up for the life you want? Too many people sit in their comfort zone telling themselves they'll get started tomorrow, next week, or when the time is right. But tomorrow never comes. How much longer are you going to settle for where you are when you know you were meant for more? It's easy to stay in your comfort zone. It's predictable, it's familiar. But don't fool yourself. Every choice has a cost. The longer you stay stuck in the safety of where you are, the further you push your dreams into the future. The truth is, comfort doesn't lead to growth. It leads to stagnation. You can't expect to reach new heights while clinging to what feels easy. If you want something more, you have to give up the comfort of today for the possibilities of tomorrow. Don't be afraid to step outside your bubble. Don't wait for life to give you permission to change. Take the first step even when it feels uncomfortable. What you gain is far greater than what you give up. Yes, sacrifice hurts. Yes, it can feel like you're losing something valuable in the moment. But what you stand to gain from that sacrifice is far more powerful than the temporary discomfort of giving something up. Sacrifice is the fire that forges you. While it may burn in the moment, the result is a stronger, more resilient you. Think about the legends, the trailblazers, the people who've made an impact in this world. They didn't get there by playing it safe. They sacrificed. They chose the harder road for the promise of something greater at the end. What's worth more, the pain of sacrifice or the glory of what comes after? You can't have one without the other. The true rewards don't come instantly. They come after you face the fire and come out the other side. It's about the long-term payoff. Don't let the temporary pain blind you to the bigger picture. You cannot have a breakthrough without breaking through something, whether that's fear, comfort, or old habits. Transformation doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It doesn't happen when you're coasting through life. It happens when you step up, face the pain, and make the sacrifices that are required to grow. What's stopping you from taking that next step toward your transformation? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Or is it simply the unwillingness to let go of what's familiar? Let me tell you something. The greatest breakthroughs always come on the other side of sacrifice. Sacrifice is the chisel, and you are the masterpiece being sculpted. You can't become who you were meant to be without shedding some of the old layers that are holding you back. It's not easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. You have to decide what you want more, comfort or greatness. The moment you make that decision is the moment you begin to transform. The greatest legacy is built not by what you keep, but by what you are willing to give up. What you give up now may never feel like it's worth it, but the impact of your sacrifice will echo through generations. The true mark of greatness is not measured by what you've collected along the way, but by what you've given up to create something meaningful for others. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? One of complacency or one of purpose and impact? The greatest trees have roots that run deep. They sacrifice the surface for stability and growth. They endure storms. They stretch higher with time, and their legacy is one of strength. You may never see the full reward of your sacrifice, but trust me, others will feel its effects for generations to come. When you choose to sacrifice for something bigger than yourself, you are creating a legacy that outlasts you. You are leaving a mark on the world. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up in order to leave that kind of legacy? Everyone wants the quick win, but that's not how life works. We all dream of hitting it big overnight, of waking up one day with everything we've ever wanted. But here's the truth. Success doesn't happen like that. How many times have you wished for success to happen overnight? How many times have you thought that if you just get lucky, if the right opportunity falls into your lap, then everything would fall into place? I'm here to tell you that's a lie. Success is a slow, steady climb. It's not about luck, and it's definitely not about shortcuts. Success is a slow burn, not a lightning bolt. It's the result of consistent effort, discipline, and overcoming obstacles one step at a time. It's not glamorous, it's not easy, but it's real. And if you're serious about achieving it, you need to understand this. Nothing worth having comes fast or easy. So forget about overnight success. Start embracing the long road ahead, because that's where the true rewards lie. Success is built in the trenches, not on the mountaintop. We often hear about people reaching the top, but we rarely hear about the hard work that got them there. Success isn't made up of one grand moment. It's the culmination of 1,000 small actions taken day after day. Are you willing to get your hands dirty and put in the grind even when no one is watching? Success doesn't care about your circumstances, your talents, or how many followers you have. It's about what you do when no one is looking. It's about showing up every single day, no matter how tired, how discouraged, or how far away you feel from your goal. Think of success like a sculptor chipping away at a block of stone. The stone doesn't start as a beautiful masterpiece. It's rough and unformed, but with patience and persistence, little by little, the artist brings the vision to life. That's how success works. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's powerful. The real work happens in the trenches, in the quiet moments when you keep going, even when the results don't show up right away. There will be days you want to quit. There will be days you'll question whether it's worth it. Success requires sacrifice and struggle. There's no way around that. The road to greatness is not easy. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, and times when you wonder if it will ever pay off. How many of you have felt like giving up when it seemed like progress wasn't coming fast enough? But here's the reality. Success is like climbing a mountain. You can't rush the ascent. The climb is exhausting. There are moments when the weight of the journey feels unbearable, but you can't stop. You have to keep going. The view from the top, the reward for your efforts, is worth every single step. Those moments of doubt, they're a part of the process. They don't mean you're failing, they mean you're moving forward. The difference between those who make it to the top and those who don't is the willingness to keep climbing when it feels like you're stuck. It's about pushing through when every part of you says to quit. So no matter how tough it gets, keep going. Your success is just on the other side of your persistence. But on those days, remember, those who persevere, those who push through, are the ones who win. Perseverance is the key to success. It's not the most talented, the most gifted, or the luckiest people who make it. It's the ones who refuse to give up, who keep fighting even when every bone in their body wants to quit. What will you choose when things get tough? To quit or to keep pushing forward? Every obstacle you face is a test of your perseverance. Every failure is a chance to rise up and keep going. Perseverance. Perseverance. That's the difference. When you keep going, when you show up every day, even when it seems impossible, that's when the magic happens. Every time you face failure and keep pushing through, you're building the muscle of perseverance that will carry you through anything. So when things get hard, remember, it's not about avoiding the struggle, it's about refusing to give in to it. Success isn't reserved for the talented, it's for the ones who never stop fighting for it. This is a hard truth that many people don't want to hear. Talent alone won't get you anywhere. It's not about how gifted you are, it's about how hard you're willing to fight. Do you think the successful got there because of raw talent or because they refused to quit? Talent will only get you so far. The real winners are the ones who show up every single day, who fight for their dreams, and who never stop learning, growing, and pushing forward. Success is a war. The winners are those who never surrender, who fight when it's hard, who keep getting back up when they've been knocked down. It's not about winning every battle, it's about showing up for the war. So if you want success, stop waiting for it to come to you. Start fighting for it. It's not a matter of if you're talented enough, it's a matter of how badly you want it. What sets you apart is your refusal to give up, even when the odds are against you. Dreamers talk about what they want to do. Doers make it happen. The difference? The doers refuse to quit when things get tough. They dig in their heels and keep going no matter what. Are you a dreamer or a doer? Are you willing to put in the work when others are quitting? Success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The ones who make it to the finish line are the ones who can keep going when they're exhausted, when they're frustrated, and when everything seems impossible. You win not by speed, but by endurance. It's not about being the fastest or the smartest. It's about staying in the game when everyone else has given up. Every challenge you face, every obstacle, is an opportunity to prove your resolve. Keep going, because the only way you fail is by quitting. So get out there and start doing. Your dreams won't come to you. They'll come from you through the work you're willing to put in. Keep fighting, keep working, and keep showing up. That's how you turn dreams into reality. I'm here to tell you, you are capable of far more than you realize. Let that sink in for a second. Most people go through life without ever tapping into their true potential. They play small, believing that they can't achieve greatness, that they aren't capable of doing something extraordinary. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. You have untapped power within you, waiting to be unleashed. How often do you underestimate your own abilities? How many times have you doubted yourself, telling yourself you're not ready or that it's too hard? The truth is, there's a version of you out there that is capable of achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. But to get there, you need to recognize that potential and take action. Your potential is like a seed. It's already there, buried deep inside you, waiting for the right conditions to grow into something extraordinary. But if you don't nurture it, if you don't put in the work to make it bloom, it will stay hidden forever. So ask yourself, are you ready to unlock that power? Are you ready to meet the person you were always meant to be? Too many of us go through life never truly knowing who we are or what we're capable of. We settle for what we know, even when it's far less than we deserve. But let me remind you of this. The person you are today is not the person you have to stay. You've been carrying this potential all along. It's been there inside of you, waiting for you to realize it. But only through personal growth, through pushing past your limits and embracing the discomfort of change, can you fully embrace the greatness that lies within. You're like a diamond. You may feel rough, unpolished, and even overlooked, but inside of you there's brilliance. The brilliance is already there. It's just about revealing it. So I'm asking you now, are you ready to do the work to polish yourself and shine brighter than you ever thought possible? You've heard the truth. Now it's up to you to decide if you'll embrace it. You've heard me say it. You have potential, greatness inside of you, but the question is, what are you going to do about it? The only thing holding you back is your own hesitation. The only thing stopping you from reaching your true potential is the fear of stepping outside your comfort zone. It's time to break free from that hesitation. You can stay where you are, stuck in the same cycle, never growing, never changing, or you can choose to rise to your potential, to become someone new, someone who lives up to the greatness they were born with. You have the key to your future in your hand. Will you unlock the door, or will you keep it locked forever? The choice is yours. But let me tell you something. If you don't choose to unlock it, no one else will. No one else can give you that future. It's up to you. Take responsibility, be brave, make the hard choices, and never settle for anything less than greatness. I'm telling you right now, the path to success isn't easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for those who are content with the status quo. It's for those who are willing to make tough decisions, those who are willing to say no to comfort and yes to the unknown. How many times have you let fear or comfort stop you from going after what you truly want? How many opportunities have you missed because you were afraid to take that first step? Greatness doesn't come to those who sit on the sidelines. It comes to those who get in the game, who take the risks, and who have the courage to fail and rise again. You are not meant for mediocrity. You are meant for greatness, but you have to be willing to make the hard choices and take action, even when the road seems uncertain. So what will you choose? Most people can't handle this truth, but I know you can. Will you? The reality is most people won't step up. Most people won't look themselves in the mirror and face the truth that they're capable of far more. Most people will stay stuck, trapped by fear and comfort, never realizing their full potential. But you're not like most people. I know that. And now, it's time to prove it. The truth has been laid bare. You have untapped potential. You have the power to become the person you were born to be. Now the only question left is, what will you do with it? The choice is yours. Will you rise? Will you unlock your true potential even when it's hard? Will you embrace the uncomfortable truth and take control of your future? The clock is ticking. Don't waste any more time. It's time to act. Time to become the person you were always meant to be. And that starts now. Fear, responsibility, sacrifice, and the power within you, these are the truths you must embrace to unlock greatness. There's no way around it. The road to success is never easy and you're going to face struggles. But these struggles are not there to stop you. They're there to build you, to test you, to see if you have what it takes to push forward when the going gets tough. You've heard the hard truths today. You've heard about the realities of success, the grind, the sacrifices, and the internal strength required. And I want you to ask yourself, how many of you have been avoiding these truths, waiting for an easier path, waiting for the stars to align, The truth is, there is no easy path. There is only the one that you create for yourself by accepting these truths and facing them head on. You've heard the truth. Now it's time to accept it. You can't run from it anymore. It's time to stand up and face what lies ahead. You have the power to change your life, but it starts now, right here, right now. This isn't about some future moment when everything will magically fall into place. No, the time for change is now. You don't have to wait for the perfect time because that time will never come. Think of this moment as planting the seed of your success. The choice you make right now will determine what kind of future you build. Are you going to let this moment pass by, or are you going to act on it? Start today. Make the decision now. Don't waste time thinking about tomorrow or waiting for the stars to align. It's now. Your success begins with this decision, this moment. So, what will you do with this truth? What will you do now that you know the cost of greatness? You can't unhear this. You can't pretend that the hard truths you've heard today don't matter. Will you let fear, doubt, or complacency stop you? Or will you stand up and take action, no matter how hard it gets? The choice is yours. This truth is a flame. Will you fan it into a blaze, or will you let it die out? Will you let this moment pass and return to the same patterns, or will you seize it, knowing that this is your shot, your chance, your moment? The time is now. The world is waiting for you to step up. So what are you going to do about it? It's your time to act, to put everything you've heard today into practice and make it real. This is not the time for hesitation. This is the time to rise, to show the world what you're made of. There's no more waiting. The future doesn't wait for you, so why should you wait for it? Your destiny is in your hands, but only if you take it. Don't waste any more time. Get to work. Don't wait for some perfect moment. The future starts today, right now. Take action and make it happen. The world is waiting for you. Step up.